What's going on? So is no one able to shift up?
No, I can't shift up either.
What is up, guys, and welcome back to a brand new video. Where do I begin with this one? This is one of the most unique scenarios I've ever had in my time of making F1 videos. Everyone got stuck in first gear, myself included. Around Monaco, with simulation damage, no assists, it was absolute carnage. So what I wanted to replicate was a race from a few weeks ago where everyone was locked in the McLaren MP4-4, the 1988 McLaren driven by Ayrton Senna and Alan Prost. Unfortunately, you can't make people drive that in public lobbies. We had the luxury of doing that in a league race where everyone agreed to drive that car. Today, we couldn't do that, but what I was trying to do was get everyone in that car. Unfortunately, with the way the game works, no one was going to choose it, so I switched to Group 3 cars in the classic car section, which meant that everyone would switch to the 1982 McLaren, a car that is 6 years older, but I'm hoping has similar characteristics to the 1988 McLaren. And what I ended up getting was a car that has a clutch pedal and a manual shifter, a set of prerequisites which people in sim racing don't really have. A lot of people on the game are racing with controllers or wheels without a clutch pedal, myself included, and so none of us had a button mapped for this particular control. So everyone was stuck in first gear. So let's roll on to the race. I don't want to fluff on any further. I want to show you guys this race because it was absolutely unbelievable. Let's go to Monaco for everyone being stuck in first gear. Please like, subscribe. Let's get into it.
Well, been nice knowing you boys.
Well, this is going to be interesting. Here we go then for Monaco with no assists and simulation damage. Bearing in mind when I was doing this race, I had no idea what I was in store for, and neither did everyone else in this lobby of ours. 5 red lights, and away we go for the first gear Monaco Grand Prix, and straight away we all realize there's a problem.
Yeah, I can't shift up either.
And even still, with the speed limitation, there's still lots of crashes going on at turn 1. 3 people off to the right-hand side. That guy rejoins the track. What's going on?
So is no one able to shift up?
No, I can't shift up either.
This is just so weird. Even though we don't have the full power available, still lots of people getting tangled up in incidents. That Ferrari also dying there. I'm just lost for words. Maybe he could go at full speed and he just ran into the back of people just at crawling pace. But here I'm like, enough's enough. I'm pausing the game. I'm mapping a clutch just so I can maybe win this race very unfairly. We'll see if anyone else does the same. But while my game is paused, my car is going up to full speed. The game is driving for me and shifting up for me. But I actually didn't realize while I was just figuring out the button mapping, I was just panicking a lot at this point, having to think on my feet. Manual clutch has been enabled, but when I went back onto the track, it still didn't work.
There's Ben. Ben's speeding up somehow. How's Ben?
Yeah, there are 2 McLarens that just blew past me.
No, and Ben's going for it now. I don't know how.
So I'm in second gear now, so I'm happy about that, overtaking people up to P5, but I still don't know how I did it.
Oh wait, maybe they're doing AI. Hold on, let me. Yeah, when you pause it, you guys speeds up. That's what it is.
And that was the light bulb moment, wasn't it?
Oh, I cracked the code.
So if it wasn't for these guys in the game chat, actually, well, I did it by accident, by pausing and button mapping, but I've now figured it out, thanks to these guys, that just pausing the game enables me to shift up. The game does it for me, so we kind of hacked the system. Honestly, I don't know if this was a glitch, if this wasn't supposed to happen, as in being stuck in first gear, but then also the game shifting up for us kind of is a glitch as well, which we are now everyone's exploiting because we all heard it in game chat. RIP to those very few people who maybe muted everyone else and didn't hear that vital piece of information, but we are now utilizing 5th gear. It's now turned into the 1 gear challenge at Monaco.
Yeah, I think 5th gear is a sweet spot.
Now I'm stuck in 3rd gear.
Oh dear. So it's going to be interesting to see who can utilize the best gear around the racetrack. I'm not going to risk it and pause the game again because I feel like 6th gear will be too tall and I won't be able to really accelerate all too much. to be honest, even in 5th gear, I'm not really accelerating that well. So I'm just going to leave it in 5th. I'm not going to pause it. I'm just going to suffer through these low-speed corners. I can't use any engine braking into Rascas or any of these corners, so it makes, you know, slowing up a bit of a challenge. But we do have that we do have that top speed, which we're utilizing with the fastest lap of the Grand Prix. I think we're like 5 seconds faster than these two up front. So they might be stuck in 3rd or 4th gear. Or maybe they're in 5th gear, or maybe they've just got damage. I'm not too sure. But that is the beauty of this challenge. Everyone has to think on their feet. And it looks like we're poised to take this victory. Crucially, we don't have damage either, which is really helping out our pace. But into the middle sector now. Can we go for a dive up the inside? Into this left-hander. Listen to the engine, by the way. It's absolutely... You can't even hear it. It's like a... electric car. See absolutely nothing through the very slow speed stuff, and then when you finally get up to about 10,000 RPM, that's when you can actually hear the engine again. And we are now putting pressure on Alpumut-K.
The time last lap was a 1 minute 34.
Someone bend it.
You're gaining by over 5 seconds a lap. Keep it up.
Cool. 5 seconds left faster than this guy. This is absolutely ridiculous. Can we go for a dive into the swimming pool chicane? We went there. He kind of left the door open. Then we kind of escorted him wide a little bit into Rascas now. And we do get the move done with a bit of contact, though. We are through now for P2 in this very unorthodox Monaco Grand Prix. Everyone having to think on their feet here. But we are now going to see if we can win this race. After what was just a weird first lap. Not seeing anything like it. Everyone's stuck in 1st gear. Just not able to move more than, I don't know, 100 mile an hour. It was absolutely ridiculous. But anyway, we're putting pressure on Skeven now. I believe he has some damage. He's really suffering at the high-speed corners. He loses the back end, comes over into my path, and then the contact from me is then sent him back into the barrier. Like, I'm holding my line here on the right-hand side. He's moved over, and then that's just unsettled his car fully, and he is now, really unfortunately, out of the race here in Monaco. We now lead, but it's imperative for us to break out more than a couple of seconds, because I do have a few penalties against my name. That's a tyre that's just chilling there on the exit of the Novo chicane. That's cool. But barring any kind of major crashes, we should be able to go on and... What's this guy?
Oh, Ben got killed! Ben got killed! Oh!
Did he just run into the back of a Lotus by any chance?
Yes, it was the Lotus.
That was me.
Oh my god, dude. Ben just got murdered. Oh, that wasn't even fair.
Gee, that's like...
That wasn't even fair. The Lotus was just parked on the exit.
Couldn't have said it better myself, to be honest. We've been absolutely robbed. 2 videos in a row now of certain victories, but we won't dwell on that until after the race. This is the final lap, by the way. We have Alpumut-K. That's worse pronounced. That's a harder name to say than my own, and that's saying something. Anyway, he is challenging for the lead here. This is the last lap. He's getting held up by a different backmarker, who just is maybe hell-bent on taking him out. Alpumut-K goes up the inside into the swimming pool chicane, and now he is clear for a victory. Hopefully, that backmarker doesn't decide to send him to the Shadow Realm. He has negotiated the final corner, and he will go on to win this race. You would have to say we got Rhythms F1 a good 10 seconds behind, but our old pal here, Alpumut-K, has, well, blown up his car just across the line. Rhythms comes through and finishes him off at the apex, or the pit lane exit, shall I say, and that was one of the weirdest Monaco Grand Prix I have seen on this game. I mean, 2 of the cars in Parc Ferme don't have their wheels attached, so that just says it all, really. It's just the perfect summarization of what F1 is in a nutshell when it comes to online gaming. I go and check Twitter, and it turns out the guy who won the race, our good friend Alpumut-K, never even did the race. He paused the game the whole damn time. So as head steward of this race, my self-declared head steward, I am now disqualifying Alpha Takei from the Monaco Grand Prix, leaving Rhythms to assume or inherit the duel in the Formula 1 crown. Congratulations, P2 to P1. Insert the Sebastian Vettel memes. But you are our dignified and honourable winner in today's race. I'm still fuming that I got taken out, to be honest. Can't believe it. You know, a back marker that is lapped with 2 punctures takes out the race leader a lap and a half away from the end after what was just a chaotic Grand Prix. You know, the thing that I'm mad about the most is just the fact that I didn't make it to the end because I wanted to utilize the replay cameras, and you can't use replay cameras if you can't finish the race. That's my rant over. Thank you so much for watching. Leave a like if you enjoyed. Subscribe to the channel if you're new to see plenty more racing game content. And follow me on Twitter if you want to get involved in these... I don't even know what to call this. It's just circus racing. If you like circus racing, follow me on Twitter. You guys can get involved. And we'll have some fun. Until then, it's goodbye from me.